Hi everyone, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Aileen, and here I like to talk about all things makeup, mostly luxury makeup, skincare, and fashion. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I hope you consider subscribing and joining the family. So today it's all about Chanel. I thought to myself, randomly, if I could only keep 10 or less of my favorite brands, which are Chanel, Chantecaille, and Tom Ford, which products would those be? So I'm here to share those with you guys. I really had a hard time, but I was able to narrow it down. I am going to film with my thoughts and my picks on those three brands, being Chanel, Chantecaille, and Tom Ford. But today it's all about Chanel. So if you're interested in seeing my picks, what I would keep, what I would hold on to, and why, then keep on watching. But don't forget to subscribe and give this a thumbs up. Let's get to it. These are in no particular order, but I'm gonna try to speak on them in the order in which I added them to the list. When it came to Chanel, the first thing that came to mind was my Le Volume de Chanel, the mascara. This is amazing. However, if you're oily and you have the raccoon eye transfer issue, go with the waterproof. The waterproof will not budge. It is what I have on my lashes. Today, I love this to the point where I have 3 backups. Like, I refuse. So it's 2 black and 1 brown on the backups. Like, I cannot be without it. Like, I just know I can't. Yes, I'll try other products, other mascaras, but I just always find myself reaching for this one. I will say the Le Revolution de Chanel, I'm not fond of. It really just flaked on me. I had major issues and I was highly upset and had to buy a drugstore one when that's the one I ended up grabbing instead of this one time I was going on vacation. I'd rather use a drugstore mascara than the Le Revolution mascara from Chanel. That's just my personal opinion and my experience with it, but this would definitely be my number 1. I am keeping it. My number 2 that I put on the list is the Les Correcteurs de Chanel. I absolutely love this concealer. Absolutely love. If you're familiar with Chanel, you know how sheer this is. How I prep my face, because I have hyperpigmentation when I'm going to apply this, which is what I have on my face today. These are amazing if you have hyperpigmentation and you want sheer coverage, but this did not make the cut. Another one did. So what I did to prep my face, I do have some redness around here. You know, if you use Retin-A and you start increasing, you get redness. So I had a little bit of redness here, and I have a breakout here that's healing that had a little redness. So I used the green here, here, and right here. And then the peach I used on the under eye, and a different scar I have here for darkness. And then I have the concealer in 2 shades. So today I used B30, which is this one here, but I do have B31. It's kind of brighter. If you want a brighter under eye, you can see that. It's really nice. It's a really nice shade, but I just absolutely love these. So I tend to only like color correct if I'm using something sheer, such as this, but I just love this formulation, and I've never had a problem with these creasing, these smudging, caking, nothing. I've never. So I applied it in this whole area, in the chin area, and the under eye. And I've never had a problem. They're ride or dies, tried and trues. Next on the list was foundation. And I do have the Le Beige's Water Fresh Tint. I have the Le Beige's Healthy Glow Foundation, and I have the Chanel Ultra Le Tint. The one that made the cut is the Chanel Ultra Le Tint. I do keep this in the box because I do have, this is the new formulation, and I do have the old formulation, so I keep it in the box because there's nothing distinguishable about these two to distinguish the new formula from the old. I absolutely love this. So for oily skin, the Ultra Le Tint is beautiful. This was definitely hard to pick. I knew immediately I wanted to pick a foundation. It was just like, which one? And this is just really the longest wearing. I don't have to touch up. Like, this is honestly the perfect combo. But if I could only pick one, I will keep this one. Between the coverage, the longevity, it's just beautiful. And in a humid climate such as Florida, it's just not going to budge. But what I have on my face today is the water tint. And it did cover between using the concealer as a color corrector and using this, it did cover. But if I had to pick one, it'll be the Ultra Le Tint. Number 4 on the list was the Soleil Cream Bronzer. And this is in the shade Soleil Tan Deep. It is what I have on. I did sheer it out and I did top it with a blush as well. But I did apply this as a bronzer here around the perimeter of my face and along my jawline. I absolutely love this. It blends beautifully. I will say it has coconut oil. So if coconut oil is one of those ingredients that don't play well with your skin, you may want to stay away from this. And you all know how much I love me a good bronze. And this is the shade that whether I'm in my winter shade or I've gotten a tan in the spring or summer, this just works for me. I will say Chanel's coming out with a medium shade. In my opinion, they should have came out with a deeper shade than this, but my opinion doesn't matter, apparently. Next, what made the cut? I knew it was gonna be on the list immediately, and unfortunately, I think it's sold out already and you can't get it. This Camelia Illuminizer. This is beautiful. So I did apply it to the high points of the cheek, my Cupid's bow, with a more dense brush as a highlighter, and then with a softer, fluffier powder brush, I just brushed it all over for a nice, healthy glow. I am loving this. If you can't tell, my CC's in the middle gone, and these poor little petals over here are suffering. Unfortunately, it was limited edition. I believe it's already sold out, but if I find it available anywhere, I will link it down in the description box. It's just beautiful. If you like a subtle highlight, if you like a glow, you can definitely achieve that with this. It's just stunning. It's so soft. See, you can build it up. You can see at initial swatch, it had more intensity. You can just spread it for a nice, beautiful, just healthy glow. And if you have your base on and you're oily like myself and you've mattified and really set that base, you can put this all over as a healthy glow. And even when those oils start to seep through, you're not gonna have an issue. So even if you're oily skin like myself, you can shine and have a healthy glow too. 2 more items. The next item on the list is the Chanel, oh, these have a long name, hold on. The Chanel Le Rouge Dual Ultra Tenue Gloss, where you have the color on one side and the clear gloss to really lock it into place on the other side. These were holy grails when we were wearing masks. They're holy grails of mine now. I do have them in multiple shades. I only have 3 here because I keep them I keep my favorites in my everyday bag and then in my evening bag. This is Daring Red. This is Light Brown. And this is Soft Rose. Soft Rose is one of my favorite shades. If I had to pick a shade, I'm pretty sure it would be this one, or Tender Beige, which is in one of my purses. But I absolutely love these. They're not going to budge. They're not going to come off on a drink. They're not going to come off on a mask. They don't come off like patchy or ugly. They don't give you the ugly line. I'm off our longevity lip and I love these. And last but not least, a palette. I would keep an eyeshadow palette. So as far as what's on my eyes today, this is the Le Four Ombres 378, and this is not one of the palettes that I chose that I would keep, but it is a beautiful cool tone purple palette. I believe this came out last year, or was it 2020? I don't even remember. My years are all jumbled together thanks to the pandemic, but it is a beautiful palette. It is what I have on my eyes today. Now, these are three, but I'm going to explain. I do have and have played with all four of the tweed palettes, but I'm not going to talk on those because I can't. But as soon as I can, I will. However, based off of what's out there today, Road Movie is my favorite Chanel palette. However, I feel like it's a very distinct color story, and I'm like, even though it's my favorite palette, I'm not sure if that is the palette that I would keep, just because I'm more of like, I like certain day looks and I like certain evening looks. If you don't care what you wear when, and this color story speaks to you, this is my most highly recommended Chanel palette. This palette is absolutely beautiful. Like this shade right here, I can't. No, I can, and I did, and I absolutely love this palette. However, if I think to myself, I want a palette that I can use day or night, I can use the shades more sheared out during the day or more intense at night, and I feel comfortable with those colors both day and night, I would pick one of these two. But if I'm showing you in the way I would rank them, and it's definitely you choose whatever color story speaks to you, but Road Movie would be my number one pick. Blurry Green would be my number two pick. So I feel like maybe Blurry Green would be a palette that if I just had to pick one, it would really be between Blurry Green and the 382 Vibrations palette. I love this palette, and I do wear them, and they're just beautiful. Both color stories are absolutely gorgeous. I'm struggling to pick between these two, but if I had to like absolutely pick one, however, keep in mind, Road Movie is my favorite. Second ranking is Blurry Green, but if I had to keep one, it would be this one. One, these are my go-to shades. Two, they have different textures. So this has a great brow bone highlight, a great inner highlight shade. This gold shimmer is, oh, like that screams evening. You can definitely amp that up. It has this lighter shade and a deeper shade. I love this palette. I can see myself using this day, using this night, using it many different ways. Versus Blurry Green, I don't feel you have that inner highlight and brow bone shade. Those are the reasons I would pick one. If I had to pick one, I'd keep this one, and I'd be happy with that. Did I say the shadows were lastly? I lied. One more product I pulled out. I believe that still keeps us under 10. Yes, it does. Lastly, these Stylo U waterproof pencils. I just grabbed one. This is 946 Intense Teal. I don't believe this shade is available any longer, but out of all the waterproof pencils, this is one of the ones I use the most, and it's also one of the ones that has the least longevity of all of them. I'm not sure if it's the pigments used to make this shade. It's absolutely stunning. What I love about this shade is I love neutrals. It's no secret I love a good neutral, but I love a good neutral and I love to add a pop of color somewhere. And I feel this intense teal shade is beautiful in the waterline, above the lashes. You can really like just amp up your look with a great colorful pop of eyeliner. And these do not budge. They don't go anywhere. So if you're oily skin like myself and you have oily lids and you have trouble with liners staying in place, that's one you may want to try. There are so many favorites. I didn't include any blushes because I enjoyed their old blush formula. I am not a fan of the new blush formula, but there's talks that the formula is changing again. I can't attest to that, but that it's a rumor I have heard, so we shall see. Apparently there have been many complaints about the new Chanel blush formula, but who knows? There weren't complaints about the old Chanel blush formula, but they changed that. There was complaints about the pigments, different shades that can be used upon a larger shade range of skin tones. Those were the complaints. There was never a complaint that I am aware of, a huge customer complaint on the formula, but there is on the new formula. We're not enjoying it. So hopefully they heard it and they really are changing it. As far as the lip products, I chose that duo because of the longevity, but they have so many different great lip products, different finishes, different textures, and I have a video coming out on that soon. But I am doing wear tests and trying to gather as much data as possible to really give you a good detailed review on all the different formulas and how they wore and how I tested them and vice versa. So we will get there. The powder, the loose powder is nice. And the Chanel Ultra Le Tint with that loose powder, it's a perfect combo. But do I feel you have to absolutely have the Chanel loose powder to really get the Ultra Le Tint to last? Absolutely not. So if I had to pick less than 10 Chanel products that I had to keep and get rid of the rest, those would be them. So let me know, are there any products that are tried and true Chanel products of yours that I did not mention in this video? And why do you love it? What's your skin type? Leave it down in the comments. If it's something I've never tried before, I'll look into it. I'll consider it. Thank you all so much for coming. And until next time, don't forget, we're all perfectly imperfect. Bye.